Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Lex Gray Show episode. We'll be making a character using the Black Powder and Brimstone, or Brimstone RPG. This is a game based on the Borg system. And I recently saw the review from Books, Bricks, and Boards talking about this game in detail. And I recommend watching that video. I'll put a link down below. But that got me inspired to make a character for this game. So this is my first time really going through it. I don't recall if I've ever talked about owning this game for the past few weeks now, but otherwise it definitely has that Morkborg flavor, but with a different setting. So let's go ahead and start making our character. We'll flip to the pages a bit. We'll kind of go through the book, but eventually we'll get to the character creation section. So as you can see, there's plenty of artwork and tables. Some looks like a world setting here. We've got some locations, and let's see. I think we're getting close to the rules. We have factions, which is an interesting mechanic. Demons. We've got some scenarios here. Got some more pictures, some art. There's the character sheet. So when I bought this game at a local game store, it had uh, this character sheet bundle here. It's you can rip them off. It's one page per. You just rip them off. So that was a good little thing to find off to the side. So here's the rules of the game. The tests, you got the difficult rating. So difficulty rating to DR from 6 to 18. It's a D20 mechanic. Roll, I think it's a roll under. No, roll at or above. Okay. We have position and impact, negotiations, combat, which is pretty simple. You just roll for damage. Well, actually, I take that back. You roll at a DR, typically of 12, then you can land damage. But I believe it is a player facing uh, game when you roll dice for defending too. So I sit corrected on that one. Advanced combat rules. There's also some mounted combat, which is great to see compared to Workboard. You have hit points and damage. It's basically just the usual polyhedral dice. There's Wicked Runes. You have Devil's Luck, which is familiar. This table here to roll at. We've got natural 20, you got the natural 1, good and bad. Characters. This is what section we're looking for here. So, all right. You roll your stats, roll your health, pick a character archetype if you wish, pick a weapon or spells you can wield or afford, buy your starting gear, name your character, go for it. So, we're going to do the stats first. Roll 36 and use the table below to generate each ability score from -3 to +3. The sum is not used in the game once the character is created, only the table value. All right, we're going to just roll down strength, agility, presence, and toughness in that order. So we'll grab the three D6 here. Our first one, that's going to be we have 10, 11. It goes to 11, which is 0. So I'll put a little X there. And another one. Let's see, we have 9, 10, which is also nothing for agility. And we have our next roll here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, for presence, that's nothing. We're going to have the most mundane character of all time here. Oh, finally, something above 10. We have 10, we have 14. So 14 will be a +1, which is still not impressive for toughness. Okay, there we go. So we rolled our stats. We can't forget we actually start with the following. So a satchel. We'll write these items down here. Satchel. You have a water rations for 3 days. X3. You have bedroll. You have flint and steel. 50 foot of rope. And 2 torches. 2 torches. That's it. All right. Next, you roll your health, which is going to be toughness plus D8 plus 2. Our toughness is +1, so we roll D8. Plus 2 is 10, and then our toughest is so that's 11 total. So max for hit points. Well, that's actually fairly generous, at least in how I'm perceiving it at first. I'm sure that might change if we actually play the game, but that's our health. Otherwise, player character is not created with the optional class to may roll 46 to drop the lowest die for two abilities, which we are going to actually pick a optional class. All right, or at least an archetype here. So pick a character archetype if you wish, which we are going to do. Now, based on our only real positive, which is toughness, that's plus one. So who would be good for that? Rifleman, perhaps. Great swordsman, maybe. A grenader, probably. Looks like he's pretty well armored. A bounty hunter, that's one of my favorite kind of roles. Let's see, pistoler, I think I pronounced that right. A master trapper, probably not. A beast hunter, maybe. Witch, definitely not. A woods witch, definitely not. Herbalist, nope. A heron, no. Opportunist, no. Adventurer, well, that can be fairly straightforward. A sneak thief, we have a silver tongue trickster, probably not. If we had a higher presence, that would have been a good choice. A practitioner, I'm not sure if I'm licensed for that. A vow of war, no, that's not right. Well, there's definitely a lot of great archetypes. I really like the choices here. So that's all the choices, optional character traits. Okay, so let's just choose. I often choose the simplest one at times. I want to choose something a little different, but still within a range of adjusting. Let's do Great Swordsman, perhaps? I'll do that. So archetype, class, I'm guessing that's where I put that. So great swordsman. And let's see, the great swordsman gets the following. The strength of your arm and the reach of your sword has gotten you this far. Not all of its life's problems can be solved with the edge of a blade, but until then, you trusty Zinhander will do. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that weapon wrong. You start with a Zinhander. Zinhander, roll an extra d4 damage on a successful hit. Okay, so I'm going to write that in. Let's see, Zinhander. Again, I'm guarantee I'm pronouncing that wrong. Not exactly too familiar with medieval or older weapons. Extra d4, so that's me plus d4 for hitting. Okay, unsuccessful hit. So I'm going to put plus d4. Not sure if it has a stat besides that. Flamboyant clothes. These garments are a sign of your martial skill, and so will command respect amongst others, men of and women of war. Okay. Well, flamboyant clothes. I'll write that in there. Flamboyant clothes. It's like a bard next to the swordsman. All right, a bard is a knight, I should say. Okay, so we chose our class, archetype, what have you, and just skip through these very colorful drawn characters. The artwork is it's not bad. I'll give it that. It's decent. Okay. Optional character traits. Let's see. Does this actually have any real effect on our story? You know what the hell? We'll choose one. You may roll a d10 on each of these sections to the right, or just make up your own. These traits, both good and bad, may change and become more apparent throughout your character's journey or your beginnings to. Okay. Well, d10. Let's see. Your character is d10. Let's just try it out. 6, generous. Okay. And the next one, 8, adventurer. Pretty much treating these as descriptors. 8 again, hunted. Additional skills, plus 2 any roll that pertains to this additional skill. Okay. Skills, I'm guessing, probably go in feats, perhaps. D20, let's see. Let's do this one. D20, 5. Cookery. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I'm guessing he's a culinary expert. Cookery, +2. Okay, passions, things that your character finds joy and purpose in outside their profession. Okay, well, let's see. I'll do another d20 for that one. 7. I don't know if cookery goes in feats. Maybe it goes here, but what the hell? I'll put in feats for now. Feel free to correct me in the comments below. 7. Passion is PG-13. Let's re-roll that. You probably see the word from here. 15. Theater. Okay, that makes more sense with the clothing he is wearing. Theater. Notable physical attributes. Something immediately noticeable of your appearance. 5. Tall. Okay, that works. Okay, that's it for the optional character traits. Next, we have you know at least one party member from a previous exploit or thrown together in a disaster. D20. This would be a little good story kick. If I again use this character in a campaign or a video, a one shot, wash ashore after a storm wrecked your boat. I'm going to remember this page for future use because again, that might be good for a story generator. Let's keep going here. Leveling up. So this is feats. Okay. After you level up, you may choose a feat. So that does not apply for cookery. I'm going to move cookery over here and put a +2. So whenever a character, our character, whatever his or her name may be, cookery will be, uh, if I'm not mistaken, if that's cooking, again, I believe that's cooking. Let me verify really quick. Yes, okay, so the practice of preparing and cooking food. I feel like an idiot right now, but for some reason I was thinking something different, but I was confident at first it was cooking. So my apologies. Cookery, that is the word related to cooking. Okay, anyways, that's not a feat. Feat is when you level up. All right, so creating a free company. Uh, I don't really see. So weapon, I think, goes here. So let's move that over. The Zehelder. It's a. It looks like it's a +D4. Okay. I'll remove that word from our item. There we go. Okay. There must be a spot for armor. Guess that's probably. Oh, armor's right there in front of me. All right. Next is weapons. So all weapons have a special ability that is unique to that weapon. Okay. Did I miss a spot for gold count? Range weapons, armor, wagon. Huh. I wonder if I missed it for currency or money. Let's do a little recap here. Checking other classes here. Cutting knife and spoon. Heavy armor and short sword. So the class does give you a weapon and armor. We started with, I'm just double checking my work here. Bounty hunter. I'm just curious what the bounty hunter gets. Bounty hunter gets definitely some upgrades here. The green arrow gets 6 bombs, 2 gunpowder pouches, and our guy is in Hinder. Roll an extra d4 damage. Oh, okay, so it's 2d4. So it's a d4 at first, and it's an extra d4 and a hit. Plus d4 plus on a successful hit. So, right. So it's 2d4. I think. I don't know why that's confusing me at first. It's a little confusing to at least to me. But yeah, it says roll an extra d4 damage on a successful hit. Oh, okay. So yeah, successful hit. Well, if you land the hit, then it's a hit. So I'm gonna put 2d4 because that is the extra d4 you roll. Or just to, I'll put d4 plus d4. Whatever. Okay, 2d4, d4, whatever. And that's it. We don't have any armor whatsoever. Flamboyant clothes don't have anything. Nope. All right. Well, that leaves us pretty defenseless. So I think that's it for our character besides names. We have no magic, no ammo to worry about. We have our stats rolled up, which was just a +1 on toughness. And then we need a name. So is there a page for name? We have weapons here, armor, magic, potions and poisons, travel, hunting, game master, the rules. Let's just go through the book here to finish off. Move the stuff over a bit. Okay. Crafting a story. That's good for solo play. Gameplay, flow, and flexibility. Failed roll to search. NPC generator. Looking for a name generator. Want to use a name that's within this game's setting for the player characters. We got some tables to help for solo play, complications, enemies, locations. Looks like that is hard to read. Rooms, in names. Well, not the names are needed, but it's close. Dungeons, treasure, and the bestiary. So let's skip ahead here. Looking for names. This is a pretty good sized bestiary actually compared to Morkborg. Rat Sworn. I do like the setting a bit compared to your typical fantasy. Let's see, effects. Looks like we got some more here. Okay, I don't see any names. I might have, I don't know if I missed it somewhere in the beginning, but we could just go ahead and name off looking in here. So let's say, let's call him Bex Grave, Bex Gravestone. There we go. All right, so Bex Gravestone. This is our character using the black powder and brimstone or brimstone RPG. It's a rules light based on Morkborg and states that in the back here. Now, my only gripe, my only complaint is the design, the layout. Now, Morkborg has that to a fault, but something more nostalgic or acceptable over Morkborg. This one, um, not sure. It's for me, it's a 6 or 7 out of 10. I do like that there seems to be more content, if I'm not um, forgetting anything of Morkborg, but yeah, I still with the D20, it's a love or hate for me. This is a standard D20 roll at or above rollover, but I do like the character sheet design, and it was nice to find this giant bundle with the book itself. So there you have it. If we would have chosen another archetype or class, uh, then we would have landed a better weapon. Again, I'm still debating D4 plus D4. It says roll an extra D4 for a successful hit, which means again, if you actually land a successful hit, you're literally just rolling 2d4s. So, anywho, I'm not sure if I'm correct on that, but anyways, as always, thank you for watching. Please feel free to subscribe, like, share, and comment, ring that bell. And most importantly, as I like to mention, it's all about the comments. I appreciate your feedback. Let me know if you ever come across this game. Again, I recommend watching the my one of my favorite YouTubers, Books, Bricks, and Boards. He talks about this game in greater detail than I ever could. He's actually reviewing the game. He actually reviews the game, and he has a positive opinion about this game. He mentions that this game seems to have quite the dislike online. So I can't confirm that. I never actually bothered to look up. I don't really look up game reviews, to be honest with you. If I just see the game and I go through it at a bookstore, I buy it. And the fact, again, that this was a bundle, these two were on the same shelf separately, of course. I had to buy this separately compared to the book, but it's still a plus. And the funny thing was, I found the character sheet first. I saw the stats. I'm like, oh, that's Workboard, but this looks different. And I saw the new title, Black Powder and Brimstone. I was like, wait a second. This is a different type of game, but this looks to be a Morkborg spinoff. And long and behold, it was. So this is my latest addition to my Morkborg collection. I have like 5 or 6 different, Morkborg related games, Cyborg, Pirate Borg, etc. But overall, it is one of my cherished collections that I just don't spend much time with. but I still enjoy to occasionally go through them. So the fact that these are very popular for solo play because of all the tables. Now, there is a good amount of tables in here. Comparatively to Morkborg, I just don't recall really. I want to say Morkborg had either as much or a little more than this, but either way, it seems to be a fun game. And you don't have to use the setting. We can base it off because there's gunpowder in this, there's guns itself, so you can shoot. And the mounted combat's a great little addition to what is already a simple game. So thank you for watching. That was the longest outro of all time, and I'll see you guys next time.